But this is a microcosm of our nation, because locally in a town in southern Montana, a guy blows in with police cars painted up to say Hardin, and everybody just falls down and worships him. And it's the same thing in Texas. CNN's made a lot of hay out of this. They always expose the little local corruption to make themselves look good. They never cover the real high-level corruption. We do both. That's what separates us from the mainstream media. But you hear about the Texas towns right outside Austin, they've got them, where they just pull old ladies over, young men, black men, white men, they don't care. And they say, I'm going to take the $500 out of your wallet, and I'm going to take your watch, and if you don't like it, I'm going to charge you with narcotics trafficking. Now, sign this piece of paper saying you agree to me to take this. Now, of course, it's fraud. You can't, under duress, make somebody sign something, but these crooks don't care. Now, what do you think happens in some tiny town of 150 people? You will get a local county commissioner who lives there, and he'll get together with his brother or his cousins, and they'll pass a resolution. They'll get the local town, the locals in the little town that isn't even incorporated, to go get incorporated with the state, go fill out some paperwork. They just get some police cars and drive out and start robbing people. It's real simple. So that's the same thing in Hardin. I found out they have a very corrupt sheriff's department, classically corrupt, feeding on the public. It's the same deal. And by the way, the sheriff's department said they love it. They love the captain. And the locals, again, the entire boss hog leadership. We even had them run out of stores and push on us and scream at us and yell at us. Now, again, the majority of locals supported us, and we had fans everywhere, and I was getting stopped on every street corner. But then you'd have boss hogs come out of their shops. You know, anybody who has a pot to you-know-what in, they see themselves as elitist. And that's how this whole system works nationwide. They would run out and shove on my cameramen and tell us we weren't allowed to be on Main Street and get the hell out of our town, you foreign Yankees, basically. And I would say to them, okay, let's say I'm a dirty Yankee from Texas. I'm a carpetbagging, scallywag your business. I would say this to them. I got this on video. And I would say, but it's okay to have a guy from Montenegro, Balkans, over in Serbia, who's a felon over here. And they said, hell yeah, we like him. We're going to make money. I mean, they were on power trips in front of me, looking at, because of this Two Rivers Authority, this Economic Development Authority, with all these different city council people and people running for mayor and their husbands. And, you know, you'd have the lady running for mayor whose husband was on the board of the Two Rivers Authority, and he ran out of the shadows at us on Main Street and pushed Aaron. We've got that on video. I mean, it's the Twilight Zone. And it's the same thing all over the country, from Schenectady, New York, to Oakland, California. It's just mafia. They put on uniforms, you fall down and worship them. So why not have some con artist show up in a police uniform, take over a FEMA camp, and say he's going to put the locals in it? And, of course, the boss hogs locally loved it. They said, hell yeah, we're really going to rule now. I'm going to make me some money off the locals. I'm going to be the boss. Because all the local constabulary were going to be boss hogs in the new prison that could hold roughly 20% of the town. They love it. And that's what's bringing America down, is parasites.
Hello, this is...
So if you just joined me, I went to Hardin, Montana to witness the decline of our nation. And really, I was looking in a mirror. I was looking back at myself. We can laugh at those Montanans wanting to be conned by a charlatan, wanting to have foreign mercenaries come in black Mercedes and with German enforcers, with some guy from Serbia saying they were going to police and run the town and fill the local prison as an economic development. But you look at my own state of Texas, the United States has more prisoners than any other country in the world. China has 1.5 billion people, or right at it. India has 1,100,000,000. The United States has twice the prisoners China does. Twice. And Texas has more than any other country in Europe. Texas has more prisoners than France. France with 80 million people. That's right. Texas has more prisoners than England. And they're not going to stop. They're going to hire more police. Every little tiny town's got lines of police cars. And they now admit they just pull you over and grab the money right out of your wallet. The Dallas police just throw bags of chalk in your car. They take it. They don't care. Government is rogue and criminal. And the sooner people figure this out, the better. And that's all a city is. I mean, why not have some foreign con artist with German troops in tow shaking everybody down in Hardin and announcing he's taking over the detention FEMA center? Why not? I mean, it's the same thing to have locals doing it. It's the exact same thing that we live through in this society. And it is only going to get worse until we as a society begin to wake up to what is happening. And so when I talk about Hardin, Montana being a microcosm, it's not just a microcosm of other towns around the United States where you drive through Texas, you drive through Alabama, you drive through New York, you drive through Illinois, you drive through Minnesota, you drive through Arizona. I mean, I've been all over. Not as much as the Johnny Cash song, I've been everywhere. Man, I've been everywhere, but I've been a lot of places. And I've been to Canada, and I've been to Latin America, and I've been to Europe. And you don't see prisons like we got anywhere. It's rare to see a prison in Europe. It's rare to see one in Mexico. And if you do, they're hellacious and you don't want to go back. And boy, their police are corrupt down there too. All I'm asking people to do is to get this mind-controlled image of the police and government as some heroic, wonderful, perfect, pure as the driven snow thing we've got to fall down and worship, to what it really is, something super dangerous. Yeah, you got to have some government, but you better keep it within the Bill of Rights and Constitution. You better keep it very small and starving. What did George Washington say? I know he's a bad guy nowadays, but I will quote him. I know FEMA demonizes him to citizens in different training seminars. He said that government, like fire, is a dangerous servant. Just like if you're using fire for fire breaks, or using fire to cook food, or you're using fire to, in a blacksmith forge, fire is a dangerous servant. Don't play with matches. But to finish his quote, fire is a dangerous servant and a fearful. Fearful means, whoo, man, we're talking, you can get the hackles up, get scared. Fire is a dangerous servant and a fearful master. Hitler was government. Pol Pot was government. Stalin, Lenin, Mao, Fidel Castro, all these other thugs, 95, 98, 99, depending on what period of history, percent of the time, government is murdering and stealing and enslaving. You take Zimbabwe and their leader over there. They killed almost every white person in the country, stole their property, ran them out. But he'd already set up that system of government. Kind of the liberals the last 20 years in the U.S. and England said, go ahead and kill whites. They're evil. They own farms. They deserved it. The whole society collapsed. And now the murder rate's even higher as blacks kill blacks. They kill anybody that's got anything. And so nobody can feed themselves. There's no jobs. Starvation's been rampant for 5-6 years. Hundreds of thousands have died. That's called government corruption. There was a rationale. They're white, let's go ahead and kill them. And it's like, yeah, kill Whitey. Same thing in South Africa to a lesser extent, and it's now falling apart. Record crime rate in the world after Zimbabwe. Same thing in North Korea. Look at government there. Hellish government with some 4'9" goblin who's got a 7-story pleasure palace and routinely hijacks Japanese and South Korean airlines with his secret police on board, stalking Asian film stars he wants to rape. I mean, we got a guy hijacking planes with women he wants. I mean, this is government. A guy in a uniform, 4'9", hijacking jets for women he wants to rape. Now, am I supposed to just, he's such a hero, he's wearing a uniform, I love Kim Jong-il. I mean, am I supposed to bow down to Saddam Hussein because he's in a uniform? People are like monkeys in this country. And they're like this worldwide. They see a uniform and a fancy hat. Where do you think crowns came from? That was a headdress. People make fun of ignorant savages around the world that are wearing headdresses and stuff. Well, what do you think they do in England? You get some old murderous woman with her murderous family committing all these crimes worldwide. Everybody worships her. She's got a big glistening headdress with diamonds on it, and our presidents get down and kiss her on the hand and kiss her butt. This is a woman who has a groom of the stool. She doesn't even wipe her own hind end. You don't believe me? Google that term. That's right. She has a white-gloved butler that does it. And when Obama sees a Saudi royal, or he sees a British royal, or Bush does, they bow down to him. Because their family were kingpins, mobsters, who got so much power, they got armies under them, and they started wearing fancy headdresses. And oh my gosh, we all love badges, so that's why the Queen wears dozens of badges all over, festooned with badges. Pull up a British royal in official dress.